los terroristas.
And do the Harlem Shake.
Hey guys, Matt Goldberg here. Hope you guys enjoyed those pretty awesome Harlem Shake dance moves. Probably give you nightmares for quite some time, as it will for me, because it's on the internet. So awesome! Nah, I wanted to do my little rendition of it now that it's trending all over YouTube, so gave it a shot. Alright, so first of all I want to say thank you to all you guys for submitting like over 40 questions. That's pretty crazy. I'm actually glad a lot of you participated. I didn't know. I've always wanted to try something like this. Finally gave it a shot. So I have your list of questions all here, 3 pages worth. So I broke it down into categories so that way it's easier to organize what I'm talking about and keep you guys interested at the same time, hopefully. I don't know how long this video is going to turn out to be, so if it's like 7 years long, I apologize. But you asked the question, so be mad at yourself. I'm just kidding. But yeah, hopefully it's not crazy long, but let's get to it. Alright, so the first category that I broke it down to was CCW. And everybody has questions about CCW all the time because that's my most popular videos on here. So the first question is, what happened to UFC stop motions and CCW? For UFC stop motions, really quick, I did a little animation for Jax with those, and then I decided I didn't really like animating with them because they have bare feet, and because they have bare feet, it's hard for them to stand up easily like the wrestlers where they have flat feet. So I don't know, I didn't really like using them. As for CCW, nothing happened to CCW, it didn't go anywhere, which is probably the biggest question I got about CCW. It's just I was away at college for 3.5 years, I just graduated, so I didn't have any of that stuff with me. I was over 1,000 miles away from home here where I have all my stuff. But I'm slowly getting back in the groove of animating CCW. I'm working on 2 videos right now, so once I finish them, hopefully they will get up online. I apologize that it's been like a 5,000 year wait. Probably like the next Ice Age is when it will come out, is what it feels like, and I understand where you're coming from. It's just, when I was home for the summers and stuff from school, I just decided to do other things like with my friends and family or whatever. I don't know, I wasn't always motivated to animate at the time, so I don't know. It's kind of the same right now that I'm home, but I'm animating about every other night or so, I'd say, on CCW episode 3 part 2, so that should be up soon. Alright, where's CCW gone? It's gone nowhere, as I just answered, so don't worry about it. It will be back soon. If you're on Twitter, Facebook, mostly Facebook, like the CCW Facebook page so you can stay up to date with everything I'm doing in the meantime. Like I came up with like house show stories to create interest and stuff to keep you guys still excited for what's coming. So check that out. When will CCW episode 3 part 2 come out? I'm hoping by March or by mid-March is my goal. Probably gonna work on it more later in this week and so on. So I'm slowly working on it. It's turning out pretty nice, a little choppy here and there, but that's expected because I haven't animated in a long time. So gotta work off the rust. But you guys should like it, I hope. Got some cool storylines I think going. Alright, next question is, will CCW be back? Yes. What made you go with the name CCW? Crash Collision Wrestling. I don't know, when I was... How old was I when that came out? Well, I started making the video, I think, early 2007, so I was 16 then. And Crash Collision Wrestling just kind of rolled off the tongue, I guess. I don't know, I really liked the way it sounded, and it just really clicked, and so I went with it. I don't really know where the name came from, I just kind of liked the way it sounded, and that's how I went with it. Next question is, why did the Hell in a Cell match get canceled? Good question. I explained that, I think, maybe in an old news update video, I don't even remember. But I canceled it because the Undertaker figure I was using, his ankles were really loose, so animating with him was a huge pain. And also, I think because I went away to school around the time I made it, I lost interest in it once I came back home, which is kind of the same thing I'm having with Sheamus and Ultimate Warrior right now, is I'm not as motivated to make it because my heart's not really in it like it was when I planned it. However, I'm not canceling it, I'm finishing it so you guys can have something to look forward to. I'm doing my best not to cancel anything in the future as much as I can. Now that I'm getting older and I'm kind of heading more towards my career, I don't know how much I'll be animating anymore. So that's something to keep in mind. I don't know, don't overthink anything I just said. It's just, that's how it is right now. Next question is, what's going to come first? Another CCW episode or a John Cena heel turn? Very funny. I don't like John Cena, and if he was heel, I probably would like him, but we all know that John Cena is not gonna be heel anytime soon because he's a face of WWE, so probably a CCW episode will come next. So, good question. Next question is, when do you think we will see another show / pay-per-view? Well, another show, of course, I said hopefully by mid-March you'll see a new part. As for a pay-per-view, I don't think I want to do pay-per-views really anymore. I mean, I enjoyed doing the one I did, but when you're so locked down into specific matches ahead of time, by the time you get around to the matches, you're not really motivated to do them as much anymore. So I'm probably going to avoid pay-per-views, but maybe you'll see like a special episode or something that has special matches. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's all the questions for CCW, and next are questions about figures. So I'll get into that now. Alright, so first question regarding figures is, what is your favorite figure and why? Well, favorite figure in general, I don't know, I mean, I guess I have a lot of favorite figures. One would be my Agent 47 Hitman figure from the video games, if you ever played the Hitman series. It's the newer figure I got. It's pretty expensive, but he's probably my favorite video game character, so to have a figure of him was pretty cool. Important to me, I guess, just because I like having figures of my favorite movie characters and video game characters and wrestlers and so on. So, I don't know, the whole pop culture thing is pretty cool. So, I'd say he's probably my favorite for those reasons. As for my favorite wrestling figure, I've always loved the Jax NWO Hulk Hogan with the boas. I thought that was really neat figures. They got all the detail on his boots and everything, and it's really cool. Another one by Mattel, which is somebody else's question, your favorite Mattel figure. It's probably one of my favorite Mattel figures is probably the new Elite Collection Brodus Clay. Who's back there in the red. You can see him right above my thumb. The one with his jumpsuit. I really like Brodus Clay, and I thought they did a really nice job on his figure, so I'm pretty pleased to have that one. Another Mattel one I really like is probably the Elite 12 Kane. That one's really cool. And the new Brock Lesnar is pretty cool. I'm a big fan of his. So yeah, they're some of my favorite Mattels. Next question is, How many wrestling figures do you have? An exact number I don't know. The problem is my collection grows like every week, so by the time you see this video, I'm sure it will be outdated. But I would say probably over 1,000. So I've been collecting since I was little. So I have a pretty hefty collection, I'd say. The next question is, when did you start collecting figures? Going along with what I was just saying, I collected since I was little, probably the age of 4, I would say. I didn't collect as heavy then, of course, as I do now. But I like to collect my wrestlers for display purposes, or just to have, or to animate with, of course, but I can't use everybody at the rate I move, as you know, so I move slow. Can't animate with everybody, but it's still cool to have your favorite characters that either you grew up with or currently see on TV and have them in a figure form. So yeah. Next question is, why do thou not show the Ruthless Impact figure you got from TNA? I got it from Jax. It's an unreleased figure that was never even shown to the public. So I can't show it because it wasn't shown to the public. So, sorry. Next question is, where do you get all those figures? I get them all, usually from Walmart, Target, Kmart, Toys R Us, Amazon.com, MattelShop.com, sometimes RingsideCollectibles.com. That's about it though. I mean, I get it wherever they're sold. Meyer. Any of those stores really. So that's where I get them all. Next question is, how much do you think you have spent the past year on wrestling figures and wrestling figure stuff? Way too much money. I'm probably afraid to hear how much I've spent on them. Even if I added up all the money I've ever spent on my wrestlers, it's probably pretty crazy, so I don't know. I'd prefer not to know how much I've spent. My next question is, what would you do if most of your collection got destroyed? Well, I'd be pretty upset, like everybody else would probably be. I don't think anybody would be like, yeah! So, no, I'd be pretty bummed. Well, more than bummed, because I put a ton of money into that collection, and to see it just burned away, melted somewhere is not cool, so I'd be upset. So yeah, that wraps the questions about figures. So next, I'm going to talk about your questions regarding TNA and WWE. Alright, next question is, what was your favorite match from TNA and or WWE/WWF? This is a really hard question for me, honestly. As much as I love wrestling, I don't know if I really have a favorite match, so to speak. Probably more so moments. I'm not one who usually buys like the wrestling DVDs or anything, because once I see it, I don't really have interest to watch it again necessarily. So I guess my favorite type of match from TNA was probably their Ultimate X match. I thought those were really exciting to watch and really cool. Very innovative at the time, I thought, so sad it's gone. Hopefully they bring it back. My favorite WWE or WWF match? I don't know if I have a favorite match. I mean, I guess some of my favorite matches would be some of Undertaker's WrestleMania matches the past few years, because I love Undertaker. And just his matches with Shawn and Triple H and stuff are awesome. They did such a great job. So those are probably some of my favorite matches, I guess I would say. Maybe Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar, because they're two of my all-time favorites. Excuse me. I don't know. I mean, I guess since WWE owns WCW, one of my favorite moments would be when Hulk joined the NWO, and that shocked the whole wrestling universe. So that was pretty cool. So that's probably one of my favorite moments for WWE. Next question is best WWE match of all time. I have no idea, and I don't know. My best match, I would think, is probably different than something someone else would say. I don't know. I'd say maybe for me, it'd be one of those Undertaker matches again. I have no idea. I mean, the matches the past few weeks with CM Punk and Jericho and Daniel Bryan and Jericho have been really good matches, so those have been pretty cool. I don't know if they're the best of all time, but even maybe, sorry, I'm like all over the place with this answer, but maybe some of the matches with Edge and Christian and the Hardys and the Dudleys, those ladder matches were insane when I was little, so those are pretty cool. Some of the best ladder matches of WWE, that's for sure. Next question is, what is your favorite WWE theme song? One of my favorite WWE theme songs is probably Eric Bischoff's theme called I'm Back. I'll probably play it so you guys can hear it. It's nothing to do because I know him. He's a friend of mine, but I don't know, I just really like that song. I couldn't really tell you why. When I was younger, I liked Undertaker's American Badass theme. I thought those were cool. Goldberg's theme, of course, why not? The NWO theme probably is another theme I really like. And still do to this day. That's a pretty good one. Next question is, what's your dream wrestling match that you would love to see? Well, I'd love to see, I guess, I don't know, like Goldberg in a match again. I don't know who his opponent would be, because I don't remember who he's actually fought and who he hasn't. If there wasn't a Goldberg Undertaker match, I'd love to see that. I think that'd be really cool. Or Goldberg Sting, that might have happened WCW. I don't remember. But definitely something with Goldberg. I think that'd be really cool to see him back again. That'd actually make my day if he came back again. So I don't know. Next question is, what's your favorite wrestling match that you have seen? See, like I said, these are hard for me, but I'd probably have to go back to those WrestleMania Undertaker matches. Those were some of the best Hell in a Cell matches, or just matches in general, between some of my favorite wrestlers of all time. So, probably those, I'd say. The next question is, how did you go about getting your job for TNA? First of all, let me clarify that it wasn't a job. It wasn't an internship. It was really just an opportunity to be there with them backstage and stuff. I got it because Eric Bischoff discovered me on YouTube back in 2008, and I became friends with him. I ended up going to school down in Tampa, Florida, and I think after several months I was there, I found out that Eric and Hogan were going to TNA, which was in Orlando. So I called him up and I asked him if he could help me get an opportunity with TNA, and he did. So I was with them for 2.5 to 3 years, I think. When I started, I worked on their internet show they did with JB and SoCal Val. That was fun, and then they just had me doing basic work like counting t-shirts and other stuff, and then as the year went on, I got to know Elijah Burke, and I did a documentary with him for class. I went to the Cannes Film Festival in May 2012, and I went with it, which was really neat, once-in-a-lifetime experience. Met people like Gerard Butler while I was there, so that was pretty cool. And then this past year, when I was with TNA, I did a documentary with Tara, and that got a ton of publicity online. It's going to film festivals and stuff, and right now I don't know where it's going, but it's done really well considering it was just a school project, so I was really excited that it did go where it did, and now I have my friendships with Tara and Elijah Burke because of it. So that was pretty cool. But I'm not with TNA anymore. I left my opportunity with them in December. I still talk to my friends there. But yeah, it was a nice experience. Very fortunate for it, very appreciative that I got to meet and hang with a lot of the wrestlers I grew up watching, so that was a lot of fun. So thank you, TNA, if you're watching this. Alright, my next question is about what is your opinion of the Royal Rumble match and the WWE title match at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view? Well, I was very excited for this Royal Rumble pay-per-view event. Probably the most excited I've been for it in a long time. I was not excited that John Cena won, because if you know me well, I'm not a fan of John Cena. I like him as a person, not as a wrestler. And I did not want to see him get another title run, but because he's #1 in the company, I'm not surprised that he won to go. So, I don't know, I was disappointed he won. It was fun to see guys like The Godfather and Goldust come back. Two of my childhood favorites. So I had a little mark out moment for them and they came, to the ring. So that was cool. As far as the WWE title match, I was really bummed that Punk lost because I feel he's a great heel right now and it's nice to see the title on a heel for so long. I never actually got bored of Punk being champion. As much as I love The Rock, personally I don't think it's fair that he came back and won the title when he's never there to begin with, and it's not fair to all the guys in the back who are there 365 days a year, you know, working their ass off to get a title shot, and The Rock just comes in and gets it. I mean, I get it from a marketing point of view that they want to put on The Rock and probably redo Cena versus Rock at Mania. I'd rather Punk be facing Rock at Mania for it, but who knows. But yeah, I was disappointed with it, but I'm not like that one guy who made a video. He's gonna start crying and breaking all this crap in his room because Rock won the title. It's wrestling, it's life, doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Just accept it and move on. So I still watch it as much as I can and keep up with it. So I love seeing Rock on TV. He's great. Did he need the belt? No, but whatever. Just gotta accept it, so, oh well. Anyway, the next question is, you've said, I don't know how many times you interned for TNA, can you divulge what specifically that entails? Well, I mentioned it earlier that it's not really an internship, it's more just an opportunity that I'm thankful for. I got to be backstage, hang with the wrestlers. I got to make some films, which I was very fortunate for school. But when I started, they just had me doing busy work like counting t-shirts and other merchandise and stuff, making note of that, and then working on their internet show when it existed at the time. But as it went on, I just got to do whatever I wanted. So if you applied there, I don't know what you would be doing, so I can't speak for that because I had a unique opportunity compared to someone else. So I don't know. But yeah, that's the scoop on WWE and TNA. Next, I'm going to be talking about animating and all your questions regarding that. First question is, how hard is it with your busy schedule to animate and keep updating your page and make new videos? Well, I'm glad somebody understands that I do have a busy schedule. At least I did. Right now I'm home doing nothing, doing some freelance work for the company my dad works for until I go to film school in June. But the past 3.5 years I've been at school in Florida. I live in Illinois, so I was over 1,000 miles away from home, about 6 months or so a year, and by the time I came home over the summer I would animate here and there, but I was more interested in being with my friends and stuff. So unfortunately not as much content got released. I'm hoping to release more stuff between now and June before I go to school. I'll be local in Illinois. I don't know how my schedule will look, if I'll be able to animate while I'm going to school or not. So it is hard to keep my YouTube updated like I used to do all the time. But if you follow me on Facebook, if you're friends with me on Facebook, I'm on there all the time. I talk with everybody as much as I can, several days a week. I mean, almost every day. So you guys know my good friends on there I talk to all the time. You could ask me whatever and I'll get back to you. Like my pages on Facebook to keep up with my work if I don't post it on YouTube right away, or if at all. So there's other ways to keep up with me: Twitter, Facebook, whatever. So follow me on there, add me. I accept everybody, really. So talk to me there if you have questions about what I'm currently working on, if it's pretty quiet here on YouTube. Next question is, how long have you been animating? I've been animating since I would say maybe 13 or so. I learned how to animate briefly in middle school in an after-school club. It was like a little film video club or something. I don't even remember, to be honest, but one day we learned how to do stop motion with toys and stuff, and I thought it was so cool. So I began to practice it at home, and I was okay. And then someone recommended I put it on YouTube, which clearly was one of the best ideas I ever did. So thank you to all of you guys who've been watching all my stuff all these years. I didn't think I would ever be animating this long, but it's something I like to do for fun. Not as much as I used to anymore, sadly, but since I'm used to doing live action films now, the toys are more my actors, since I don't have actors here at home. So you gotta work with what you got, sort of thing. So I don't know how long I'll still be animating. Maybe a few more years, if that. I'm not sure. Depends where my career goes from here. So next question is, would you make an animation version of The Wrestler? I like the movie The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke. I think it's a really good movie. Would I want to animate it? No. I don't even know how I would do that, to be honest. And I think it'd be taken more as a joke, maybe. I don't know. So, no. I like the movie a lot, but I don't think I would animate it. Next question is, now that you're done from college, will you be making and uploading more wrestling animations? Yes, like I said earlier, I'm working on 2 CCW videos. One is episode 3, part 2, and the other is the CCW Classic match. It's a hardcore match between Bam Bam Bigelow and Brian Pillman. I've already been working on both back and forth. They both look pretty good so far. I still have to edit out string and shadows and crap, so it'll still take a little ways till they come out. But I decided to film 2 at once so I could get stuff out a little quicker right now, because I know you guys have been waiting like 50 centuries. So I don't know. You'll see something soon for sure, hopefully. When exactly, I don't know. I have a strict schedule for when I release stuff. Sadly, as you know, it's been a lot slower than it used to be when I started. But like I always say, I appreciate you guys being patient. I'm doing my best to work on stuff. I'm just not always motivated myself to film stuff, so it's harder that way. Next question is, how did you get into animating? Like I said, in middle school I learned how to animate and I thought it was really cool, so I started doing it at home, uploading some videos on YouTube. Then I found that Okanio guy on YouTube, and he inspired me to try wrestling, and then I did wrestling, and then you guys came along and really liked it, so I continued to do it, and I still do it because that's my most popular stuff today. So it's pretty neat that they're still following all these years after a little hobby. Next question is, which is better to use, Mattel or Jax? This is a hard question, I'd say, just because it really depends on the figure you're using. I don't mind animating with Jax or Mattel. I've animated with both. It really just depends what figure you're using, depending on the joints. If they're really loose, you probably know that's a huge pain to film with, so which is why like I canceled the Hell in a Cell match and stuff. It just wasn't looking good. So I don't know, when it comes to my work, I like to make my stuff look as professional as possible. That's always been a goal of mine. So if it doesn't look nice, I probably won't release it. So I don't know. The Teller Jacks, I like them both. I recommend them both. At least for Mattel, they're more in scale, so that might be better when you're animating for realism purposes. But sometimes the Mattel figures are really stiff. Like especially their ankles now are like extremely stiff because people are complaining that they're too loose. So now they're extremely stiff, and for animating, that's annoying. For posing, that's great. So I don't know. It really depends. I mean, Jakks, some of their new figures could be pretty stiff too. So it just depends on the figure you're using. Next question is, who inspired you to animate? I was inspired to animate in general in middle school, like I said. Who inspired me to animate wrestling, though, was Okanio. I think that's how you say his name. I thought his animations were really awesome, so I tried it myself. And you guys really enjoyed it, so that's why I keep doing them, and I've gotten much better as the years went on. Of course, practice makes perfect, as I always tell upcoming animators. Just keep working at it and you'll get better at it, of course. That's with anything, really. But Okanio I wrote to when he inspired me to learn how to do it. He never got back to me, which really made me bummed at the time, so I made sure when I started animating that if people ever came to me with questions, I would get back to them. So I do that as much as I can. On YouTube, I'm not as good about it anymore, but when people ask me on Facebook all the time, I always respond. So I know that if you want somebody to help you, you gotta help them. So if I ever needed help with something, I'd want someone to help me in return. And it's always good to give of yourself. If you take the time to respond to someone, it really means a lot. Especially people who look up to you. It's really nice because it makes you motivated to keep doing what you're doing. Otherwise you give up on yourself, and you don't want to do that. So that was how I got inspired. Next question is, how are your current stop motions going? They're going great so far. I know they're taking a while, but I'm really pushing myself with them. I'm doing lots of string work, lots of aerial moves in the wrestling matches and stuff, so I'm pushing myself considering I haven't animated in so long, so I want you guys to be excited while you're watching it, and it motivates me to keep doing what I'm doing. So they're going well. I've got some ideas for other ones. If you've ever seen the movie The Warriors, I just got some really nice figures from that movie that I'm considering animating with if I have a good story for them, which I haven't really looked into yet. So lots of possibilities. Whether they'll come to life or not, I'm not sure. So keep an eye out for that. Next question is, do you ever lose motivation for animation? If so, how do you overcome this in order to get back motivated for future animations? Yes, I definitely lose motivation, especially over the last few years. It's not that I've lost interest in it because I like to do it, but I'm just not as motivated as much anymore. The hard part too is when you're working on something you're not really interested in anymore. It's hard to be motivated to do it, but what motivates me when it comes to wrestling animations is watching either other people's animations that I enjoy, or watching wrestling on TV. That sometimes will get me motivated, like, oh, I could recreate something like this on CCW or something. So watching other related media really helps me. Not always, but most of the time, I would say. Sometimes I'll look up stuff on YouTube to see if I could find things similar to what I'm thinking of to help me generate ideas. So there's always other means to look, but I don't really have an exact answer as to how I get motivated again, because it doesn't always work. Like right now it's a little bit of a slow period, but I animate when I can, if I'm in the mood to, which I'm not always. So I don't know. just find other things that encourage you to animate, I guess. I mean, I know that's not exactly the most helpful answer, but watch other things that are similar that maybe will inspire you, or even talk to someone about your unmotivation. Maybe they could help motivate you. You never know. Next question is, whatever happened to you working with the UFC, animating commercials for them and stuff? Like I said in the beginning of the video, I did stuff for Jax, which I don't do anymore, because their UFC line and TNA lines have died down a lot, so they're not really interested in as much promotion for them anymore. So it's just been really slow, so I haven't been animating for them, which is fine. I personally don't really like animating with the UFC figures, like I said, because of their feet, making them hard to stand. I don't want to have to use string to do everything with them. I do enjoy collecting them, as I do enjoy watching UFC every now and then, so it's cool to have figures of them, but you probably won't see any UFC stuff from me. Probably ever, but I don't know. Never say never. Thanks, Justin Bieber. Ugh, don't even get me started on Justin Bieber. Anyway, next question is, will you be making wrestling stop motions in 2013? Yes, I actually made that John Cena Shawn Michaels one as a storyline to get rid of John Cena on CCW, since I just love him so much. So you won't see him anytime soon. You might see, I'm thinking of doing little storyline things like that in the meantime, like backstage segments. I don't know. These are just ideas, as always. I always like to speak my mind to get people's feedback on ideas, so I don't know. Next question is, how do you make stop motion videos? I myself, if you watch my CCW Insider channel on here, you could see me animating some CCW matches or promos and stuff. But how it works for me, usually when I want to animate, especially a non-wrestling video, I will listen to music, usually movie soundtracks. That gets me motivated and gets me visualizing ideas to the music. So that's the thing that's always helped me make my videos. I don't know if anybody else works like that, but that's a unique thing about me and my animation, so yeah. So the first question is, have you ever felt ashamed to admit you're a wrestling fan to friends? No. Everybody I'm close with knows I love wrestling. Even people I'm not close with know I like wrestling if they know me well enough. I'm not ashamed of it because it's a passion I've had since I was little. To be a part of the business has impressed a lot of people, especially in college. I earned kind of a reputation at school for being with Hulk Hogan and stuff, so no, it's really nothing to be ashamed of. If it's something you like, then be proud of it. I mean, if somebody doesn't accept you for you because you like wrestling, then they're probably not your friend, so kick them to the curb. Don't waste your time with them. If you love it, you should stick with it. Don't let others ruin something you have a passion for. So that's my advice on that. I love it. I'll probably always love it. And if somebody else doesn't like it, that's their problem. So, oh well. Next question is, how did you get into wrestling? When I was little, probably when I was 4 or 5-ish, I'd say, my dad got me into wrestling. He grew up watching it with his brothers, so he still was a fan, I guess, at the time. Got me into it. I had the figures and stuff when I was little, so that also got me excited to watch it, to see the guys I had in toy form on TV. So I loved it ever since. I mean, there's probably a year or so, maybe 2005, 2004-ish, where I stopped watching it and kind of thought I moved on past it, but then I decided I liked it again, and now I like it even more than I did when I was younger because, well, I'm older and I just appreciate the business aspect of it now, which is why I like it. I watch it more for the business and the entertainment-ish aspect rather than just watching it to get into the fights and matches and everything. So, I don't know, I just watch it different, especially after being behind the scenes, but I love it. So it's pretty cool. Next question is, who is the nicest wrestler you have met? Well, I've met several. My favorites, who are also my friends, are Lisa Marie Varon, who's Tara, one of the nicest wrestlers you'll ever meet. Elijah Burke, who's also a good friend of mine. He's really nice and down to earth. And Matt Morgan is really cool, really nice guy. I really like him a lot. He's a friend. I'm not as close with him as I am the other two. Another wrestler who's really nice is Gail Kim. Very, very respectful, very warm. I mean, I'm not here to bash anybody. A lot of wrestlers I've met have been nice, but the nicest ones have really stuck out to me. And of course, Eric Bischoff is a good friend of mine who's believed in me and my work since I was 17. So he's definitely one of the nicest guys I've ever met, and I'm very happy to have him and all the others in my life, of course. But he's definitely helped change my life. So very appreciative for all my friendships with those wrestlers. If you ever get to meet any of the people I listed, tell them you know who I am. I heard the other day that one of my YouTube subscribers met Matt Morgan when he was in New York and mentioned to Matt Morgan that he's friends with me, and Matt Morgan ended up signing extra stuff for him because he was a friend of mine. So that's really cool. So just tell them if you want to. They should treat you even better than they already do, because I'm good friends with them. So they really like me, I really like them. So it's just great friendships and relationships I hope I have with them for the rest of my life. So yeah. Next question is just wondering, if you were to wrestle, name 3 people you would want to be trained by. Well, definitely one of the people I would want to be trained by is Tara, because she's one of the best female wrestlers in the industry to this very day. She's also a really good friend of mine, and I would love to learn from her because she is such a talented wrestler on all aspects, and very highly regarded. So I'd love to work with her. I mean, I guess I'd work with Pope and Matt Morgan too, because those are my friends, so I wouldn't feel as uncomfortable training with them. But I don't know. That's a hard question. I mean, I guess I would go with those 3. But I mean, there's a ton of people I could list, but I couldn't really exactly tell you why I'd want to be trained by them specifically. So that's an interesting question. I'm just not really sure how to answer otherwise. So next question is, oh, those are all the pro wrestling ones. Okay, so now we're going to get into the random questions. So the first question is, do you already have plans for another huge film production like Tara's documentary? Right now, no. Things are a little quiet in terms of live action stuff. My Tara film did amazingly well, and it's still going to festivals. Hopefully it will go to the Cannes Film Festival this year. That's my goal. Not confirmed yet, but I'm very happy with how that film did online. Got a ton of publicity, which was very unexpected, so that's exciting. But right now things are quiet. I'm hoping when I go to school I'll be working on some new productions, so that's not till June, and I probably wouldn't be making stuff till later this year, so I don't know. Right now just look for more animation stuff in the meantime, hopefully, or nothing. I don't know. We'll see at the rate I'm moving, so who knows. Next question is favorite TV show. I'm not a big television person, I would say, but my 3 favorite shows, I'd probably have to say the ones I'd watch the most is Impractical Jokers on True TV. I love that show, it's pretty funny. WWE, of course, I watch, and Saturday Night Live, which I've been watching for quite some time now. I mean, I like to watch the talk shows like Jay Leno and stuff, but those aren't my favorites, I'd say. So, yeah. Next question is, what was your big break? Well, I guess kind of a break, because when Eric Bischoff discovered my CCW video, so CCW might have been my break, kinda. Nothing's officially been a break, so to speak, yet, but some of these things have led to some pretty amazing opportunities. My new Terra film that I just did has gotten a ton of press, like I said, so I'm very excited about that. When I call it a break, I don't know. But I'm definitely heading towards a break, if that makes sense. So hopefully I get one soon, maybe when I'm done with school. So we'll see. Next question is, where's the basement? This is from my friend Andrew. He knows I'm a big fan of Pee-wee's Big Adventure. If you've ever seen that movie, Pee-wee asks the tour guide lady, where's the basement? And she tells him there is no basement. So I'll show you the clip in my response to that question. So thank you, Andrew.
Yes.
Where's the basement?
Excuse me?
Aren't we gonna see the basement?
There's no basement at the Alamo.
Okay. Next question is top 5 favorite movies of all time. Well, my top favorite movie of all time is The Godfather. It's my favorite movie ever, I would say. I love gangster movies. It's really hard for me to answer this question because I have a lot of favorites. I'll list a few that I really like. I like Rush Hour 1 and 2 a lot. The Austin Powers series I really like. Napoleon Dynamite, Monsters Inc., Toy Story, Up. The new Batman trilogy I love. I mean, that's a bunch right now. I can't even think of all the ones I really like, but I do like a ton of movies. The Warriors, Book of Eli, American Gangster, Sin City, that's another one of my favorites. Yeah, I could go on and on, but those are some of my all-time favorites. The next question from Jack is, are we besties? Sure! Yeah, sure. Why not? We talk on Facebook enough, so sure. Next question is, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I haven't been a woodchuck in a long time, so I can't really answer that question. I apologize. The next question is, how much pool could a Deadpool pool if a Deadpool could pool dead? I like Deadpool. I haven't met him before. He'd probably kill me if I did meet him, so he could keep his pool to himself. Next question is, do you have brothers or sisters? No, I am an only child. Although I do have a dog, I consider her my sister, because that's the closest thing I have to a sister. So, no, I'm an only child. That's why I have a lot of my collection of stuff, because I don't have to share it with other people, which is nice. So. Next question is, do you like my videos or think I have potential? From Andrew Rules 61397. Yes, Andrew, I like your videos. You've also been a good friend to me on Facebook. And there's definitely potential. Everybody has room for potential. You just gotta keep working at it and stay motivated and just keep practicing and you'll just get there. So everybody has potential. You just gotta stick at it if you enjoy it. Next question is, who will win Best Picture in the 2013 Oscars? Do you think Seth MacFarlane will make the Oscars funny? Well, Argo's not gonna win because it wasn't nominated, which sucks because Argo is really good and I feel really bad for Ben Affleck. So, I don't know, I don't want Les Mis to win. I'd love Django to win, but I don't think that's going to win. But that was one of my favorite movies this year, or last year I should say. And do I think Seth MacFarlane will make the Oscars funny? Yeah, I think he should do an okay job. I know he's pretty raunchy, so he's got to be careful what he says. I mean, I love the commercials they've been doing for the Oscars, like the Psycho one where he's banging on the wall telling the lady to keep it down even though she's getting stabbed in the shower. I thought that was hilarious, so I don't know. I'm excited to see what he does, but will he be funny or not? I don't know. I don't know if he'll be like Billy Crystal on the Oscars, but we'll see. Next question is, who is your favorite character from Buck Wild? I've only watched that show once. I thought I lost a lot of IQ points watching it, especially from that Shane guy, who I couldn't understand anything coming out of his mouth. So he's definitely not my favorite, but there's a cute blonde girl on it. So I'd probably have to say her. I don't know her name though. So yeah. Next question is, how is school? I graduated, so school is great. But I'll be going back to school in June, so film school to focus just more on film, obviously, and to strengthen my skills so I can be more well-rounded and stuff. Next question is, why do you have a weird voice? That's a fantastic question, so bravo to you for that one. I have a weird voice. Well, you know, I went to Voice R Us the other day. I went into the men's voice section aisle, and there's only one they had left, so I chose it. It was on sale, so why not, you know? No, I mean, why would you ask me a question like that? Nobody could ever answer that question. But I know one person who can. Lady Gaga! Last question is, where do babies come from, Matthew? I haven't had a baby, so... No, I'm just kidding. I have not had a baby, but there is a Kia commercial that explains exactly where babies come from, so I will give you the opportunity to watch this shameless plug for Kia. So, enjoy!
Oh, well, there's a planet. It's called Babylandia. That's right, it's filled with babies. Babies of all kinds. And when the time is just right, there's a space launch.
All systems go.
They wave goodbye, and then they board these big, shiny rocket ships, right? They shoot off high in the sky, and they fly through space, and then they penetrate the atmosphere. And then they're released all over the place. Yeah, Africa, the Indian Ocean, well, everywhere. After an amazing 9-month journey, they find their mommies and daddies. And that, son, is where babies come from.
Thank you guys for submitting all the questions you did. I enjoyed the fact that you actually participated and asked me as many things as you did. I guess if you'd like to see another one, comment below, let me know. I won't do it as often because it's boring. It's more exciting if you do it every so often, and there's more to ask. So if you have more questions, I guess just send me a PM on YouTube and I'll respond to you. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you don't have nightmares from my scary dance moves from my Harlem Shake little video you saw there. So yeah, follow me on Facebook, Twitter MBG Films, Facebook MBG Films 1211, my Facebook pages Crash Collision Wrestling and MBG Films Matt Goldberg. That's how you could stay the most up to date with me while I'm not posting anything on YouTube. Add me as a friend on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. I have a tout account, although I've never touted anything and I probably won't. So yeah, thanks, and I'll see you guys soon.